Good afternoon to all of my brothers, friends, and family. Welcome. First and foremost, happy 114th Founders Day to the Ice Cold Brothers of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. Thank you all for joining us this afternoon. My name is Gerald Johnson II, and I currently serve as the Chief Development Officer for Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated here at our headquarters. I'd like to welcome you all today to our press conference in support of the Give and Go to Fight Cancer fundraising campaign in collaboration with the V-Foundation and ESPN to support the Stuart Scott Memorial Cancer Research Fund. Brother Scott became a brother of the Mu Zeta chapter of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated in the fall of 1984 at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. Brother Scott had an impressive career at ESPN, spending more than 22 years and arriving in 1993 for the launch of ESPN2. Brother Scott became to prominence at ESPN in thanks to the successful combination of originality and hard work. And today we look to not only honor Brother Scott, the talent, but also the man. And without further ado, I'd like to begin to introduce some of our special guests and speakers that we have today. First and foremost, I want to bring in our 35th General President, Brother Dr. Everett B. Ward. Brother Dr. Everett B. Ward, having distinguished himself as a leader of all levels within our fraternity, he has served previously as a local chapter president within our organization, chairman of the National Building Foundation, is currently serving as the chair for the NPHC, a national council. Brother Dr. Ward, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Brother Johnson. It's an honor to be here. I'm especially honored to be here as we remember the legacy of Brother Stuart Scott.
Thank you, Brother President. Looking to bring in our next guest here, we have Mr. Derek Wittenberg joining us today from the V-Foundation. Derek Wittenberg serves on the board of directors for the V-Foundation for Cancer Research and is the Associate Athletic Director for the Community Relations and Student Support at North Carolina State University. He joined ESPN in 2010. His work includes a program Buzzer Beater and the select games appearing on ESPNU. Wittenberg can also be heard on ESPN Radio. Next, I'd like to bring in Brother Jay Harris. Brother Jay Harris is a spring 1984 initiate into the Nu Theta chapter of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, chartered at Old Dominion University. Hope I got that right, my brother. I know we love our chapters there in Norfolk, Virginia. Brother Harris joined the ESPN in February of 2003 as a Sports Center anchor and is most often seen as anchor of the Saturday and Sunday morning editions of the program. Harris also often anchors the Monday edition of Sports Center at noon Eastern time, especially during the NFL season. Brother Harris, thank you for joining us. Mr. Wittenberg, thank you for joining us. Brother General President, thank you for joining us. Next, I'd like to bring in our special guest, Brother Stan Barrett. Brother Stan Barrett is a spring 1986 initiate into the Beta chapter of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, chartered at Howard University in Washington, D.C. We got a fellow Bison in the house. I'm also a Bison, so HU.
All right, HU.
You know, brother, there we go. So we're excited to have Brother Red here, who joined the ESPN as an anchor for ESPN News in September of 2000, moved to the company's new location in Los Angeles production facility in March of 2009 to co-host the AM Eastern edition of Sports Center with Neil Everett. Thank you, Brother Red, for joining us today. And as we kick off things, I quickly want to pass things over to our General President to provide us with some opening remarks regarding the partnership moving forward.
Alpha Fraternity is pleased to join the V-Foundation in celebration of the legacy of Brother Stuart Scott. Having known Brother Scott since his undergraduate days at Mu Zeta chapter located on the campus of the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, it's my privilege to be here today and to celebrate his long-standing dedication to the defining precepts of our fraternity. Brother Scott represented the elevated qualities of an alpha man. His scholarship, leadership, and service were characteristics in keeping with alpha tradition. Brother Scott's courageous battle against cancer remains as an inspirational call for us all to emulate. In keeping with the fraternity's efforts to support historically Black colleges and universities and end health disparities within the African American community, The funds raised will go towards supporting research projects and emerging minority scientists conducting significant cancer research at historically Black colleges. We, the men of Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity, are especially pleased and proud today on the 114th founding anniversary of Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity to make a donation to the Stuart Scott Memorial Cancer Research Fund. And we encourage others to join Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity with financial support of the Stuart Scott Memorial Research Fund. This initiative begins today and will conclude on January the 4th, 2021, the anniversary of Brother Stuart Scott's passing. What a more fitting way to honor his legacy while simultaneously helping others find a cure for cancer. To kick off this program, we'd like to open with a public service announcement led by our great brothers, Brother Jay Harris and Brother Stan Verrett. And we are so glad to pass it on to you, my good brothers, for supportive words to talk about this important initiative.
Hey, Gerald, I think you need to unmute. I can't.
I'm on mute there. Look, that's why I had the professionals in the building with me today, so to make sure I stay on point. Thank you, brothers. There, and I definitely wanted to say we are beyond honored and privileged to have you, Brother serving as our spokesman for this particular collaboration between us, the V-Foundation, as well as ESPN. And I wanted to provide an opportunity for both of you brothers to really talk more about your relationship with Brother Scott and your experiences working with him. And let's start with Brother Verrett.
First of all, happy Founders Day to all the brothers who are in attendance. Special shout out to all the brothers from Beta chapter, and also my Beta brothers who are in Mu Lambda now in the Washington, D.C. area. Also, shout out to Beta Phi down in New Orleans, where my older brother plays, and shout out to Eta Lambda in Atlanta, where my younger brother plays. So we're Alpha family, and it's always a special day on Founders Day for us. I just like to, when I think about Stuart and what he meant, it's hard not to get emotional. I actually met Stuart long before I came to work at ESPN. We were both in the National Association of Black Journalists. And one thing about Stuart knew you were an alpha. He was going to grip you up every time he saw you. He might break out into a step and encourage you to join him anywhere. You could be you be in church, and Stuart might break out in a step and want you to join him. So, and I can't tell you how many times I was in the ESPN cafeteria, and I'd be, just trying to figure out what I was going to eat, and I would just hear "one name" from across the cafeteria, and then I had to yell out 06 because we got to do it, and there people be looking like, what are they doing? But Stuart really relished the bond that we had in the fraternity, and it was so much so that when I got there, after having known him for several years, it was like I already had family in the building, and it wasn't just any family; it was Stuart Scott, and that carried a lot of weight. So he was a really good brother. Alpha and this brotherhood meant the world to him.
Thank you so much, Brother Verrett, and Brother Harris. Would you like to chime in a little bit about your experience with Brother Scott?
Yeah, I want to chime in. I don't have any many shout outs to Stan, just my brother, the new Theta at Old Dominion. But I didn't know Stuart before I got to ESPN. But when I got there, what I learned quickly that he was a brother after your own heart. And whatever you needed, he was there. Whatever support you wanted, he was there. And to extend this beyond the fraternity, he did that with everyone. So it was part of his heart, but that was a special black and gold connection that we had. I only got to do one show with Stuart, because he worked late at night or he traveled, and I either worked the 6 p.m. show or in the morning. But we got to do one 11 o'clock Sports Center together, and sitting next to him was like watching a master class in what being a Sports Center anchor was all about, what being the consummate journalist was all about. In the show pod before the show, listening to how he wrote, listening to how he pushed the researchers to find him that extra piece of information that would make whatever he was saying that much more unique and that much more fulfilling to the audience, to give the audience something to go the next day. Hey, did you know such and such and such and such? Because I heard it last night on Sports Center from Stuart Scott. That's just the kind of guy he was in everything he did, from anchoring to being a father to being on the golf course to acting. Stuart was a special man, and to do anything in his honor to support his legacy is my privilege.
Thanks so much for that, Brother Harrison. Thank you so much as well, Brother Barrett, for chiming in on that. And I know, Brother President, you've had a lot of experience with the Scott family as well, and I want to definitely provide this opportunity for you if you wanted to add anything to that as well.
Well, thank you so much. You know, I was listening to Brother Barrett and Brother Harris, and I was reminiscing about the first time I met Stuart, and you're exactly right, Brother Barrett. It was when he was a journalist with the WRAL station in Raleigh, North Carolina, and he was on the political beat, and I was executive director of the Democratic Party, and he would come and bring such energy and such journalistic investigative style to the process. And there were not many African-American males on the scene at that time. And so we all were so proud of Stuart, and the fact that he was an alpha just made us all even more proud. His energy and his commitment, you know, you could see Stuart coming 10 miles away, and you were lifted. You were personally lifted by his presence and his fraternal bond. You're right. Alpha meant the world to him, and his fraternity is grateful for everything that he did. But, you know, it also is a personal. I've known the family for many, many years, and we go back. And so this, for me, is not just, it's also about our fraternal connection, but also it's about family. So I'm glad to be here on behalf of some 200,000 plus alphas located in 800 chapters around the world to give our support to this effort as we celebrate our brother and save lives.
Thank you, Brother General President, and thank you all for chiming in. I'm a younger brother, didn't have a chance to meet Brother Scott in person. But as someone going through school as a sport management major at Florida State University, waking up to him and also going to sleep at night, this late night, shows were a big deal, especially seeing a Black man in that position, really elevating what he was elevating at that time. And I think that that really adds more purpose to why we're here today. Why we're here, why the Give and Go to fight cancer is such an important campaign, such an important initiative. Brother, I'll start this time with Brother Harris. Would you mind maybe giving the audience a couple of points on why this is such an important issue?
Because cancer affects us more than any other ethnic group. And because, to be straight with you, we don't like to go to the doctor, which is probably why cancer affects us more, because we don't get checked. We don't monitor our health the way we're supposed to. And that's a big part of this campaign, to have us go and get checked. Donating to the fund in Stuart's name, that's fantastic. But we have to go get screened. We have to take our health seriously. We have each other. We have families. My dad used to always say, son, if you don't have your health, you don't have anything. So we need to take this seriously. We need to get checked. We need to get screened. And we need to tell somebody else in our local community the exact same thing. Hey, bruh, go to the doctor. Just go to the doctor.
Thank you so much, Brother Harrison. Brother Rhett, you may want to follow up with that as well. There's some keynotes to our brothers and our family and friends that are watching as well about the importance of this, because Brother Harris really hit on some really good points.
Yeah, I know during the pandemic, I know maybe those checkups have kind of fallen on the back burner. Maybe some people are sort of hesitant to go visit a healthcare professional because you're worried about the COVID situation. But we still have to take care of ourselves. Cancer is not going to stop because of the pandemic. And so we have to deal with it in the proper manner. And that includes going to get screening. That's the go part of this. There's also the give part of it. And I think it's important to point out that 100% of the donations that we make go to support minority scientists. And I'm sure if I know Alpha Phi Alpha the way I do, that there are a lot of our brothers who are doctors and other healthcare professionals who are involved in this fight. And it's important that they get the support that they need for their research. Because as Jay said, this affects us all. I mean, there's not a person on this call who has not been affected personally by cancer. So this is a fight for all of us. And this is a great way for us to join the fight with a signature initiative between ESPN and Alpha Phi Alpha. I'm proud to be a part of it. I've been at Alpha for 36 years, been at ESPN for 24 years, and for 20 years. And they're both very important institutions in my life. And so I'm proud to be a part of this. So let's really show out and represent Alpha well in our donations. I think donation of $19.06 or $190.60 or $1,900.06, or for the brothers who really ball at $19,000.
There you go. That's what I'm talking about.
Let's put up some big numbers.
Thank you there, Brother Barrett, and thank you both, Brother Harris. And I want to again thank you both for joining us this afternoon. I know you all have a very, very busy schedule as sports seasons are in and out with the pandemic. So we thank you all for joining us, and want to definitely give you a chance to give any last words before you all exit off and leave us today.
Just happy anniversary to all the brothers. It's an illustrious bond that we share. And those 7 men in Ithaca, New York, back in 1906, created a legacy that we've all inherited. And let's all continue to build on it, because we all represent Alpha Phi Alpha in everything that we do.
Awesome.
What Stan said, that's my brother. There you go.
Thank you all so much, dear brothers, for joining us today. Thank you all so much. And we're going to transition here and bring in one of our members from the V-Foundation, Mr. Derek Wittenberg, who will be more so talking more about the impact of the V-Foundation, as well as the impact of the Stuart Scott Memorial Cancer Research Fund. Seems that we're having some technical difficulties with Mr. Wittenberg.
Brother Johnson, you want to walk us through this presentation? I know you're acutely aware of the content, and maybe we can work out the challenges with Derek, and I'm sure he'll join us.
Fantastic. Thank you, Brother General President. So we're excited today to really talk about the V-Foundation and some of the work that they've been doing since the year of 1993, really being able to fund over $250 million towards cancer research and grants levied. Their national impact has been through a lot more. I know a lot of us are used to really seeing the Jimmy V Foundation once a week on ESPN through the sports that are taking place, but really it's the work that they do throughout the year, as far as really being one of the top 2% of charities, with a 10th consecutive charity navigator 4-star, as well as 100% of the donations that are given to the V-Foundation directly going towards cancer research. More so than anything, we all know about their founding partner, ESPN, which is really committed to putting an end to cancer, and has been proud to support the V-Foundation for cancer research ever since ESPN commentator Jim Valvano echoed his famous words, "Don't give up, don't ever give up," at the 1993 ESPYs. We're proud to know that ESPN is also very passionate, as well as showing various levels of dedication towards raising much needed awareness and dollars for critical cancer research and bringing us closer to that victory over cancer. The Stuart Scott Memorial Fund, most specifically, was established in, of course, memory of our late brother Stuart Scott, who passed away in 2015 because of cancer. It was dedicated to really improving the outcomes of minority populations, and in particular, providing opportunities for minority scientists and also cancer researchers. The impact of the impact of the donation with it that go through the Stuart Scott Cancer Memorial Research Fund look to support a better outcome within health disparities for minority populations and minority communities and other minority researchers. And we're excited to know that we'll be partnering with these organizations to really build out a level of it that will impact, yes, our HBCUs. There's Brother Scott here with some of the brothers there. We're going to give a shout out to Brother Frederick Evans for supplying us most of these photos here. So what is the purpose of the Give and Go to Fight Cancer? It's an initiative between 3 leading organizations, really wants to drive awareness and raise funds for the Stuart Scott Cancer Memorial Research Fund. This fund more specifically is dedicated towards the supporting the work of minority scientists and researchers, as well as really being dedicated to the therapeutic responsiveness and ultimate outcomes of African-American patients. What is our opportunity with this particular collaboration between these 3 entities? It'll be able to provide those researchers with facilities and resources and mentors to push them to the next level. In particular, our historically Black colleges and universities and how they will be able to work hand in hand with professionals from the National Cancer Institute, designated cancer centers, and how working together collaboratively can lead to better impact and better outcomes for the African-American community. As a part of this we mentioned today, we're excited to know that we're launching this initiative today. It'll be running from December 4th through January 4th, providing folks an opportunity to donate through our donation page, v.org/A5A, which is an opportunity for you to go online, donate, also to create teams, and to really support this initiative moving forward. So live. I think it's great for me to say this, live and fight like hell. And when you get too tired to fight, lay down and rest and let somebody else fight for you. Brother Stuart Scott, some of the words that he echoed during one of his final speeches. We thank you, Brother Scott, for your time. Thank you all so much. And without further ado, I think it's a great time for us to really transition and to bring in Stuart Scott's daughters who may potentially have some words of encouragement for our brothers, as well as maybe potentially say a few words about the fund and about their father. Hey, Sydney, how are you all doing today?
We're doing really well. We are so excited. Awesome.
Well, thank you all for joining us today and on this momentous occasion for us to be able to honor the legacy in the man who Stuart Scott was, but to you all, he was your father. And I think that is a special that is a special designation. I want to be able to provide a space for you all to speak to the brothers, to our family, and also to our friends that are watching us today.
He was our father, and from the moment we could walk, he recruited us as backup step dancers and taught us the routine. He sung us the Alpha Phi Alpha hymn as our lullaby, and so we love being legacy of this organization.
Yeah, and we genuinely, I know that he genuinely would have thought that there's no better day than Founders Day to build upon his belief in Alpha Phi Alpha and to collaborate and to make sure that we close the healthcare disparities for a community that raised me and took care of me and takes care of so many others. So V-Week is just the perfect opportunity to begin a season of giving and remembering. And we want to thank our ESPN family, our V-Foundation family, and our A5A family, who all at their core believe in the uplifting of human spirit. And we want to thank you for honoring the memory of our dad with another Stuart Scott Day. Taylor and I genuinely will never be able to express how meaningful this is to us. We know that our dad would have been humbled by the enthusiasm and the camaraderie that this day produces, and the goodwill that it creates and the money that it will raise. And so we can't thank you enough for helping our dad continue to fight for others.
Thank you to ESPN, thank you to the V-Foundation, and thank you to the Alpha Phi Alpha Brotherhood for your work that continues in our father's honor to help our vulnerable communities.
Thank you both so much there. Brother General President, I feel like you may want to chime in here. These are family ties.
Oh, well, to Sydney and Taylor, thank you all so much. We, as I have told you, we love you and we are here for you. And Alpha daughters are permanent members of this family. So we thank you for what you're doing and helping us carry this legacy forward. And it is our honor on behalf of Alpha Men worldwide to participate. And today it is fitting on the founding anniversary of our fraternity to honor the legacy of Brother Scott. And we are honored to make a donation, an initial donation to the Stuart Scott Cancer Fund. To kick the fundraising off, we're making an initial donation of $15,000 today to the Stuart Scott Cancer Memorial Research Fund on behalf of our brothers. And this is just one donation. And I'm sure that individual members will give. And this is a relationship that we will have for many, many years to come. So we are honored to be here. And let's go get the work done. And as we say, let's give and go and give. And that's what we're all about. And it is really an honor. And let's do it. We're going to do it together.
Thank you, Brother President. And thank you, Sidney Saylor, for joining us today as well. We are connected, and we look forward to working with you both during this entire campaign throughout the month of December. And as Brother General President said, we are family. If you all need anything, you have our contact information. We'll stay in contact throughout this entire time. All right. Well, thank you both so much. Did you want any final thoughts? Okay. And with that, Brother President, I want you to be able to close this out here with some closing remarks, if anything to the Brotherhood on this great Founders Day, and then we'll leave with the PSA from our brothers Jay Harris and Sam Barrett.
Well, we again, having dealt with cancer myself and lost a wife to breast cancer, I understand how important this initiative is. And we've got to do everything we can to end the health disparity, get the screenings that we need to do, have the right diet, exercise, and take care of ourselves. So Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity will continue to lead by example as we work together to make this happen. I think, Brother Johnson, we may have Mr. Wittenberg. Derek may be available to be on with us now. Let's see if we can have him come on before we leave. If we can have him come on board. There is Derek.
Mr. Wittenberg, how are you, sir?
I think he's with us.
Hey, can you hear us there, Mr. Wittenberg?
Derek, can you hear us?
Yes, I'm here.
All right.
Yes, I'm here.
Right. Well, it looks like Derek, we can hear you. If you want to just share a few words, we'd love to hear from you.
Yes, I want to say on behalf of the V-Foundation as a founding member for the last 27 years and with the Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity in this initiative and this mission. We're excited about it. Dr. Ward, we appreciate your work in the past and what you're doing now. We want to support the Alphas. We want to support the HBCUs and this endeavor. When we started the Stuart Scott Memorial Fund 5 years ago, we raised $10.5 million. Actually, our brother Stuart Scott participated in some of the clinical trials that we provided before with all the researchers and all some of the doctors.
All right.
All right.
They've lost Mr. Wittenberg there. Brother President, you want to close this out here? And we'll go.
Well, again, Brother Johnson, thank you for your leadership and your efforts in bringing this together. And to all of our listeners, let's give and do all we can to support the Stuart Scott Memorial fun because we've got work to do. And I know Brother Scott is shining and smiling from Omega chapter of Sweet Rest, saying, brothers, let's do it. So we're committed, and it's so appropriate that on Founders Day that we would start this initiative and keep it going through January the 4th. So I'm glad to be a part of it, and let's celebrate Founders Day as we have done for 114 years by helping other people. Thank you so much. It's an honor.
Thank you, Brother President.
African Americans die from cancer more than any other ethnic group in the U.S.
This December, join me and my fellow brothers of Alpha Phi Alpha in the Give and Go to Fight Cancer campaign.
Together, we can win the fight.